Stop singing the song.
Did you watch Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and think, I wish someone would explain every Disney detail in this movie? Look no further than this video as we cover 100 Disney cameos and references hidden in the movie. You ready? Here we go.
Hello everyone, nice to meet ya.
Many characters from Disney appear as themselves in the film. In one frame, we've got Pumbaa from the Lion King live-action remake pinning down Bob the Viking. Bob from Monsters vs. Aliens is there too, but he's not a Disney character, so why would I mention him? Oops.
That's so funny.
Cubby, one of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, makes an appearance as himself, shocked to see how much Sweet Pete has aged over the years.
Yeah, death is coming for us all, kid.
Paul Rudd makes a hilarious cameo as himself, saying that he nearly was going to be in a film called Ant-Man, a man whose superpower is being charming to ants, obviously referencing his role in Marvel as Ant-Man.
That's great, isn't it?
There's also someone carrying an Ant-Man toy in their arms at the signing booth. An even more obscure cameo, but a very interesting one. As Chip goes home, he walks by the little house from the Disney short film of the same name from 1952. The cop cars in this scene are the same design as the cars from the famous franchise of the same name. But there are also some cars in the animation style of Disney's older animations as well. The final form of Sweet Pete's post-Bootleg Machine combines a few Disney references into one hideous package. We have Peter Pan's body, Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph's muscular arm, Woody from Toy Story's cowboy leg, the villain Fat Cat from the original Rescue Rangers show's head, and the bow in his hair is the same as Marie's bow from the Aristocrats. The cape is a bit general, but maybe it's Long John Silver's coat from Treasure Planet? There are a few references to The Simpsons made throughout the film, but the most obvious and hilarious to me is the bootleg film set, which appears near the end of the film. It features worse versions of Homer and Bart parodying the opening of each Simpsons episode.
Hi, Pachanga.
In a very quick moment, you can catch Doc McStuffins from the TV show of the same name on stage at the convention.
Doctor's work is never done.
Another obscure reference, but during a clip from an older film, you can catch Horace Horsecollar, an old friend of Mickey Mouse all the way from 1928. Clarabelle Cow, one of Minnie Mouse's best buds, appears as the school teacher for Chip 'n Dale at the beginning of the film. The infamous Scrooge McDuck makes a cameo bathing in gold, as is tradition for him. And in the credits of the film, his face appears on the currency being bet on the Muppet fights.
I am the richest duck in the world, now move!
Willie the Giant from the lesser-known Mickey and the Beanstalk short film can be seen crossing the sidewalk in this scene. As seen in the trailer for the film, and stated by Dale, the two chipmunks dance in this scene with three little pigs in this rap party for their show. While the Three Little Pigs is a nursery rhyme older than Disney, these three are referencing the famous Disney short film featuring them from 1933. They're also doing the Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit. Whatever the Roger Rabbit is, I'm not familiar with that particular dance move. Flounder from The Little Mermaid gets fish-napped by Sweet Pete's goons. Double Little Mermaid reference points because he states,
How about this? Isn't it neat?
a sly reference to Ariel's song from the film that starts with, look at this thing, isn't it neat? Baloo, fresh from his CGI treatment for the 2016 Jungle Book film, makes an appearance as a character who is doing well after his remake.
Baloo, nice to meet you.
Ah! No way!
Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast also makes an appearance as a fellow ex-celebrity with his own booth.
Oh, I really needed that cash.
One character who is not doing well with his ex-celebrity status, Darkwing Duck, gets dangerous while insisting he gets his own remake, which he very well might as Disney has announced a new show in production.
Let's get dangerous.
Kronk, the henchman turned cook from The Emperor's New Groove, has his own stall at the convention, but he was probably just away from his booth getting more shrimp puffs.
Oh yeah, I thought we'd start off with soup and a light salad, and then see how we feel after that.
A billboard reveals the current whereabouts of a famous Disney character from the 90s, Doug Funny, from the show of the same name.
Boy, this movie sure looks familiar, Pork Chop.
Linda Lynn Fletcher, Phineas's mom from Phineas and Ferb, appears as a Main Street vendor selling cupcakes. But what's her real angle?
How could I miss it? But I don't understand how
The Colonel from 101 Dalmatians also makes an appearance on Main Street blowing a bunch of bubbles.
Well, I'll see what he wants.
Rapunzel, or at least her doll form, makes an appearance as a potential lifeline for the two drowning chipmunks. In this case, we wish her hair was a lot shorter. At the end of the film, there's a poster for a fake fighting game in the style of Super Smash Bros. Called Disney Afternoon Fight Fest, featuring a plethora of Disney cameos, including Timon and Pumbaa from Lion King, the Gummy Bears from Adventures of Gummy Bears TV show, Abu from Aladdin, Goliath from the Gargoyles TV show, Goofy and Max from Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck, Schnookums from the Schnookums and Meat Funny cartoon show, Baloo from Tailspin, and Bonkers.
Help me out here, I need some cliches.
Another hilarious moment is when the chipmunks happen upon the set for a Winnie the Pooh knockoff called Pooch, the Fat Honey Bear. The bootleg features odd versions of Winnie, Tiger, and more characters from the 100 Acre Wood.
Pooch the Fat Honey Bear. Ugh.
Pete, Mickey Mouse's arch rival who actually predates the famous mouse, appears as a willing participant in a terrible Aladdin bootleg film, which is totally in line with his character.
Welcome to my club.
Greedo and Salacious Crumb, two pretty obscure Star Wars characters, can be seen on billboards outside the convention center. An odd choice to make them heavily featured characters in any kind of spin-off or marketing. We also get a pretty big cameo from Tigra, specifically the quickly canceled Avengers United They Stand Marvel series version of her, explaining her appearance as a washed-up ex-celebrity.
You look amazing.
This was a tough one at first to recognize, but I finally realized that the two bakery-themed cops at the crime scene were Duncan and Winchell from the film Wreck-It Ralph. They're cops and they're donuts. Do you get it? They were King Candy's henchmen. Don't worry, I didn't remember them either.
Now we got him.
Let's dig in with all the Disney cosplayers in the film. First, we've got a Moana cosplayer. She's hanging out with Moana's bestie, Thor, specifically the Endgame version.
Hulk, you know my friends, Meek and Korg, right?
Hey guys.
We've also got two little Kylo Ren and Rey Mousy cosplayers. We also have a cosplayer dressed as George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. Or maybe it's actually him? No, it's definitely not. Consider this the day you nearly caught Jack Sparrow, because this cosplayer is not the real one. A fan of the Pixar film Coco appears dressed as Miguel when he tries to blend in with the land of the dead, guitar and all. This next cosplayer is the Belle of the Ball, dressed up as Belle from Beauty and the Beast. And finally, we have this pretty bent costume of Bender from Futurama.
So there's more benders around. As far as I'm concerned, that's good news.
At the end of the film, Chip and Dale free a bunch of characters being sent away after being transformed into bootleg versions of themselves. This crate is filled with tons of Disney references, so let's get started. First, we have Fred Flintstone crossed with Bigfoot from the Goofy movie.
It's Bigfoot!
Next, we've got a sort of evil version of Mighty Mouse who flies out of the crate. Another creature looks like Zazu from The Lion King mixed with Toucan Sam, the mascot of Fruit Loops.
Didn't your mother ever tell you not to play with your food?
A monkey-type character which looks like a cross between Abu from Aladdin and Diddy Kong from the Donkey Kong Country franchise exits the container. Then there is Phineas from the TV show Phineas and Ferb mixed with Go-Go Dodo, a classic Looney Tunes character. Launchpad McQuack from DuckTales appears in a very not-so-bootleg look on the right. The same goes for Dipper from Gravity Falls, who is differently animated but still essentially himself. The Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, who seems to have been spliced with Tigger from Winnie the Pooh, slithers out of the crate. It also looks like Kaa from the Jungle Book appears, but even though he is a snake, he doesn't slither thanks to his new weird legs. Perhaps a reference to Randall from Monsters, Inc.? There is also a flying blue deer, likely a cross between Bambi and Pegasus from the animated Hercules film. A bootleg blue Care Bear makes an appearance speaking to the cops, as well as a creature who seems to be a mix of Bonkers from the TV show of the same name and the walrus from Alice in Wonderland.
Work?
Later on, as Pete looks through his tools, you can see that dip, a solvent which is used to dissolve Toon characters from the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, makes an appearance. I'm glad he didn't end up using it.
This is how we handle things down in Toontown.
While trying to convince the Chipmunks to join him in a rap, DJ Herzogenarich, the Snake, plays a remix of the Disney Afternoon theme song for the pair. At the end of the film, we see the Disney logo get bootlegged. While it doesn't make sense immediately, by the end of the film we understand the logo at the beginning of the film is being zapped into new castles, including Elsa's castle from Frozen, Eric's castle from The Little Mermaid, the palace from Aladdin, and the bottom right is in the style of the Incredibles 2 Disney logo. The main street Dale refers to as a place full of criminals is inspired by all the central hubs of Disney parks throughout the world. As the bootlegging machine explodes, a single firework explodes into Mickey Mouse ears just like fireworks at Disneyland often do. This is also followed by a musical sting of Wish Upon a Star, which normally plays at the end of firework displays. While it's not outright stated, Bjornsson is heard saying the Muppets' Swedish chef familiar "hurda-durda-fur" mumble. They are also somewhat similar in design. Chip Pool and Bat-Dale, a marvelized version of Chip and Dale referencing Deadpool and Batman, is momentarily seen in the bootlegging machine. As Captain Putty jumps from the wall at Ellie with a bunch of new limbs, it resembles the face hugger from the Alien franchise. Yes, Disney owns the Alien franchise. I was just as surprised. Jimmy, the Coca-Cola mascot-looking henchman of Sweet Pete, is zapped into a fairy godmother-like being from Cinderella.
That does it, I guess.
A spin-off, reboot, remake, or whatever featuring Meryl Streep called Mr. Doubtfire is advertised while Chip walks through downtown, obviously referencing the famous Mrs. Doubtfire film featuring Robin Williams. A very hidden, sneaky reference, but in the ending credits, Akiva Schaffer's name is bootleg zapped into various fonts, one of them being the font for Avatar. If you're curious, the font is called Papyrus, as observed famously by Saturday Night Live. Just search SNL Papyrus on YouTube, you'll see what we mean. Another sneaky subtle one, the character on Main Street saying bread for sale is inspired by a similar man from Beauty and the Beast. As Bob the Viking is being arrested at the police station, he mentions Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, Jack Skellington's been embezzling from his own charity for years.
While Chip and Dale are detained in the back of a van, Chip mentions Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Is that Jessica Rabbit over there?
And near the beginning of the film, as children file into the school, a teacher references the big duck Donald himself when they say,
Eddie, you're not Donald Duck. Put some pants on, please.
Because, you know, he doesn't wear pants. As Captain Putty attacks Ellie, he turns his hand into an anvil, just like the villain from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Judge Doom, does when attacking Eddie Valiant, the film's protagonist. In Chip's freezer at his home, one can see that he has Frozone frozen vegetables, a reference to the character Frozone from The Incredibles.
Hey, listen, you're my biggest fan.
Good to see.
I'm your biggest fan.
And Ice Age ice cream, obviously a reference to the film Ice Age. After the chipmunks escape the bootlegging machine, they are shown a various web of appendages that could be grafted onto other unfortunate Toon characters. These include Captain Hook from Peter Pan's Hook Hand, Little John's hat from the animated Robin Hood film, a valuable keyblade used by Sora in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, as well as his anime hairstyle in a different bag. Poor little baby Groot's eyes are in this bag, and Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story's body can also be found. There's also a set of ears belonging to Bartok the Magnificent from Anastasia.
Look at all these parts.
Sweet Pete's bootlegging racket features some pretty hilarious ripoffs of famous Disney films. First, there's the Small Fish Lady, which is clearly a ripoff of The Little Mermaid.
No. Have you lost your senses completely?
Then you have Beauty and the Cursed Dogman, inspired by Beauty and the Beast.
Stop!
Get out!
Lady and the Tramp is not spared the bootlegging procedure, as it's been transformed into spaghetti dogs, which that was only one scene in the movie. What happens for the rest of the movie? Of course, The Lion King must also get some secondhand love, as it has been revised to farm beasts, because everyone has a lion, warthog, and meerkat at their farm.
That was it?
And poor Monterey Jack gets featured with his new look in the Dumbo ripoff, Stupido the Elephant Baby.
I'm thinking it's time for a Chip and Dale reboot.
In the bootlegging lab, we see some photos of famous Disney characters among the experiments. One of the experiments we see on the wall appears to be a combination of Syndrome, the villain from The Incredibles, and Sideshow Bob, Bart Simpson's arch nemesis from The Simpsons.
He's cool. Let's move on to the next suspect.
One of Disney's famous mascots, Jiminy Cricket, also appears on the wall of experiments.
Cute little fella.
Poor old Sneezy from Snow White seems to have also got a bit cut up and experimented on for Sweet Pete's business. We also see a cross between Gus the Mouse from Cinderella and Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland. What monster could think this up? Oh, Sweet Pete. Right.
I still want my reboot.
Oof. That's not even all of them, that's just 100 of them. Did you notice more Disney details in the film? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and thanks for stopping by The Things Animated.